All right, we're back. COMP1050, Animation 2D Tools, Week 4, Part 3. We're going to talk Flash video just a little bit. And what it allows us to do is it allows us to bring in different videos. Flash does. It allows us to bring different videos and different formats into Flash. Now, what we need for Flash is an FLV type video. Okay, we cannot use other types of videos that work within our. So actually, I should say it uses FLV or F4V. In order for you to get that, you have to convert the videos that you get in through an encoder. What we're going to skip over today, we're going to talk about it a little bit, but we're not going to do it, is something called Adobe Video Encoder. It's kind of built in. Adobe Media Encoder. We can use it to encode videos, but to me, this is something that's a little bit out of the scope of the course. I've included the files here for your use, but we're not going to use Adobe Media Encoder for our course at all, right? So for me to spend time talking to you about it, to me, I don't feel it's really necessary. However, I do feel that it's good for you to have it as a backup, like I told you in a previous video, just in case the company you're working for in co-op is asking you to do something with video. It's all here. As long as you have an Adobe Media Encoder or another encoder, like there's a lot of open source encoders that do the same thing, that can convert to F4V as an example. It's all good. You don't have to use Adobe Media Encoder. Okay, so again, there's two media types that you can use, FLV or F4V, and you can convert from an MP4 type video or an MOV, like a movie file, into FLV or F4V. FLV is the old file format for Flash movie, and now F4V is the new one. So again, I'm going to kind of skip through this. This whole documentation is all around, and I'm not going to read it for you. It's all around using the Adobe Media Encoder and how to convert your different movies. In this case, the penguins.mov file. You can use the Adobe Media Encoder to encode it into F4V format. Okay, so all the power to you. If you want to do this kind of stuff, go ahead. Again, out of scope for what we're using Flash for 2D animation. Cue points are really cool, though. It allows us to, to create a point in our video where you can bind action script. So, example, I want to, kind of show a portion of our video with action script. We can do that here with cue points. We're going to just skip through this for a second. Playing external video is kind of cool too, right? Obviously what we want to do is we want to kind of import a video, right? And when we do that, right, it's going to kind of put us through our import video wizard, and we have a couple of options here. What we want to get is this penguins.f4v file after it's been converted. So let's just do that. So now we've converted the video, and we're going to go to this penguins.f4v. We're going to go File, Import, Import Video, right? And it's going to say where. I'm going to go to my Lesson 4, my code archive. And I'm going to go to penguins.f4v, press open, right? And it says load external video with playback component or embed FLV in SWIFT and play in timeline. Those are the two options you really have to do. I'm going to load external video with my playback component, right? Press next. And then it kind of gives you some examples. This is really cool, which I suggest you take a look at really quickly. I know it's not, again, 100% in scope, but it allows you to kind of choose different skins for your video player, right? Different skins. So in our particular case, right, for this example here, right, when we get to the different skins, what they're suggesting is they want to use minimal, flat, custom color, playback, seek counter, volume, mute. Like that's the actual skin, and it's actually a SWIFT file that allows you to do it, right? So minimal, flat, custom color, playback, seek counter, volume, mute. It's insane. Third from the top, right? So that's kind of the standard selection, right? and we're going to kind of click next. Oh, for the color, what they're suggesting is we go with a 3333 at 75% alpha. So we'll kind of type that in. 333333 and 75% alpha. 75%. Oops. So we're going to be a little bit. Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I use my color picker. 333333. All right, next. And finish. So it kind of creates this little video player, right? And it gives you all the things you need. The playhead, back control, all this kind of stuff. And lots of, I mean, Flash video, they've got so much in here. If you're interested in doing Flash video, it's crazy. Like lots of control, lots of stuff that's built in, skins, everything that you want for you to make it go. So if I play this thing now.
The Magellanic penguin's habitat on the coast of South America can actually warm in the summer months.
There we go, and I can turn it down. It's probably
the Magellanic penguin's habitat on the coast of South America can actually get quite warm in the summer months.
Right, so there's the video that's kind of embedded. Again, I can move this thing anywhere I want. Once I've got this video imported, I can move the video at any part of my stage. So let's say you want to make a video for a wedding, right? Sometimes, I don't know why, but we get these really crazy jobs as web designers, right? Someone says, I got this video for the wedding, Tom, can you put it on my website? Yes, I can. Well, how do we do this? The easiest way, Flash. Seriously, convert it to FLV format or F4V. You can use sound or no sound. You can throw it onto your website, any place you want. And you can, the great thing is, with this, you have lots of control on the right-hand side to modify the video, make it look a certain way, change the skin, do all kinds of stuff that are kind of, it's really interesting. And embed additional sounds and so on. All right. So again, you can do the same thing with your lion and tiger and mandrill FLV files if you want. We're not going to do that here. Controlling video playback, you can change things with your options to autoplay, change your skin background alpha, all kinds of stuff that you want to do to modify your player to look and respond in a certain way. Here's something cool. You know, you've got your video and transparency, right? But in order for you to take that transparency and convert it into FLV, you've got, the only way it can work is, by the way, in FLV format. It won't work in the new format, F4V. FLV will work, and you have to use this different kind of encoding, ON2 VP6 codec, that converts your video that's got a transparent background into a video that you can use. So here's my video clip. I'm going to import it, this pop-up FLV. Let's try that out really quickly. So I'm going to get rid of this penguin video because I don't like it. And I want to kill my sound because I've had enough toilet flushing and monkey screaming for a lifetime. I'm just saying. All right, and I'm going to import stuff here. So I'm going to import my video. And this time, I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to import from Lesson 4 Code Archive. And we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to get this pop-up FLV, which is the guy. Right, next. Keep everything the same. And finish. And here this dude is. So if you notice, a couple things. Like now I kept a little video on the bottom. But this guy is like literally, he's got a transparent background. So how do we create that transparent background for the guy? Well, we use green screens, right? And of course, you've heard of green screens before, because there's a lot of movies do a lot of special effects with green screens now, right? Well, they actually did it here for this video, right? And for green screen and all that kind of effects, you probably want to use something like Adobe After Effects, right? That's a really cool program that you can use to modify your film after it's been shot. You know, work with film. After Effects is to film like Photoshop is to pictures, right? It really does give you a lot of control on the stuff that you can do. let's go back. So if I play this guy, you know, he's going to start talking.
Good day. My name is Paul Smith.
He's a Paul Smith kind of guy, and he's going to try and he's giving us that Australian accent, right? And again, what we can do, what they're doing here, and I think this is very interesting, is they use these keyframes with labels in order for us to skip to different points and create different effects based on what he's talking about, right? They've got some interesting action script here, which I think, I mean, you can create a sound mixer, basically allowing you to stop all the sounds or start all the sounds based on you know, what you're clicking on. So this is kind of a cool piece of action script. We may need to use something like this when we create our games, right? You fire a bullet, or there might be some background noise, as an example, and you want to start and stop sounds with action script. Well, this is how you do it. So here's the green screen idea that we talked about before. You've got this green screen. This is pretty ugly, eh? This green screen. Actually, this is one of the worst green screens I've seen. Look at it. It's like a sheet that's green, right? And they've kind of cut it out, right, to create this really rough mask around this dude, right? And the thing is, with when we create these effects in After Effects, you can't really let the actor walk outside of his out of this, you know, this area that you're chopping. Otherwise, you get some really weird effects, right? And also, if there's light that's kind of like reflected from the green screen onto the actor, there's ways you can remove the light, almost like that tinge of green that goes back on his body, by using this color range keying effect in After Effects, right? So again, a little bit out of scope of the course. I'm mentioning it to you as something that we can do, and this is some really cool integration you can use from one application to another with Flash. So again, we talked about cue points very briefly, but really what cue points can do is you create these labels in your timeline, right? And as you hit a certain point, right, you can make it so that different things fire when the guy's talking. For example, he's going to say, "My name is Paul Smith." And when he says, "My name is Paul Smith," you can add a cue point. And then with a cue point, you can name the cue point whatever you want, as an example, and you can say, well, this is his name. He's talking about his name. And when he says different things, right, you can actually fire off different pieces of your timeline. You can make it move around so that way some different effects for buttons or whatever are going to show, right? So that your buttons are highlighted, or the other small thumbnails for your videos are highlighted as well when it's talking. Right? So really cool effects for using cue points. Again, right out of scope for what our purposes are, so I'm going to skip through it. And all the action script details that you need are here. I've kind of put it in here so that you can see how to build this thing. It's kind of fun. I don't think this is anything wrong to go through with this whole video and everything else. Again, I just think it's something that for us to spend 2 hours on to talk about, I think it's just way out of scope for us, but I want to include it here for your reference. There's also the ability for us to embed the Flash video as opposed to import it, and there's different ways of doing that. I'm just going to move forward, and that's it. So that's sound and video done. We're going to pause it here and go to the next one.